Introducing ABN Radio and Television, your new favorite app. Stay informed, entertained, and connected with the latest news, music, and videos from Nigeria and beyond. Download the ABN Radio and Television app now on Google Play and enjoy. Live streaming of news, sports, music, and entertainment programs. On-demand access to your favorite shows and podcasts. Breaking news updates and notifications. Exclusive videos and interviews. Personalized experience with customizable settings. Get started in 3 easy steps. Open Google Play Store on your device. Search for ABN Radio/TV. Click install and start enjoying your new favorite app. Join the ABN Radio.
Abians.
Ala agọziri obodo Chukwu ga-abịa obodo ahịa na ọrụ aka seti mbụ ekele anyị ga-arụsi ọrụ ike Igbo ndị mbụ Abịa ga-adị ukwuu ebebere ugobere igwe bụ ike Chukwu gọzie Abịa.
Please, let's remain standing, please, as we observe a minute silence in honor of a veteran, a BCA veteran, and a former GM of Zik FM, Adamazi Mma Ozioma Okereke. May her soul and the souls of other faithfully departed rest in the bosom of the Lord. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, you already know how we do it. We'll be passing the microphone over to His Excellency for yet another edition of Governor Lesotho Speaks to Abians for his opening remarks, after which the moderators will take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Ferdinand. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me also welcome those who are joining us from outside here, from outside the government house, and of course, our compatriots in the different villages, wards, and local governments of Abia, and those who are joining from outside Abia. Thank you very much for keeping faith with us. I'd like to also thank the members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm for continually reporting what happens in this state, and also trying as much as possible to keep the records straight. We have seen from time to time a few people who want to distort facts, some of them out of ignorance, some out of mischief, some out of political desperation. But then we remain focused. We are not perturbed. I think what's important is that the people who hired us to do this job know what we are doing and believe in what we are doing. And that's why we have made it a monthly ritual that we must come here every month to explain we have done and also take questions, clarifications, accounting to the people we should account to. As usual, I'll pick a few of the things that have happened in the last 1 month. And when I'm done with that, I'll turn the microphone over to the moderators. In the area of health, we'll continue to fire on all cylinders. The primary health care operationalization continues to happen from one center to another after they have been delivered. A little delay that has occurred is because of fitting out the health centers. We do not just commission built but not fitted health centers. So we fit them out, and we also send healthcare professionals. So if you check any of the primary healthcare centers we have commissioned, you'll see that they are fully operational. And virtually every element and every support is available in those health centers. Pregnant women are able to go for antenatal and are also able to deliver under supervision of our healthcare professionals. Some of the primary healthcare centers also have accommodation for staff, making it possible for them to give service on a 24-hour basis. We also have the 80 primary healthcare centers that are being renovated and fitted out by the World Bank, and that is also ongoing. Our 200 PHCs, a lot of them have been functionalized. A whole lot more will be functionalized in the days to come. We are also working on the secondary healthcare centers, and there are about 22 of them. Many are already at different stages of completion. Some of them have not started, but we are taking them bit by bit. And we are hopeful that before the end of the year, we will commission many of them. The specialist hospital in Amachara and the one in Omunnato are also receiving attention. And very soon, they will also be handed over for commissioning and functionalization. And the amount of work required in those ones much more than the primary healthcare centers. So that's why naturally it's taking time. But one thing you can take away is that anyone we complete, we'll complete them very well and get them to work very well. Had announced here that we had approved the recruitment of about 771 health professionals, from doctors to nurses and other medical care experts. The Civil Service Commission, together with the Ministry of Health, is in the process of hiring them. Computer-based testing has happened. Those who passed have been notified, and oral interviews are going on as we speak. We believe that if we do not get the number that we require, that we can go around again. But the interesting thing is that we are getting applications from outside Abia, from outside. I think we had some applications from Zambia, from people in South Africa, and a few other places. And I believe there is a lot of confidence that those applicants have reposed in the government of the state. And we are happy that that is happening. In the local government and chieftaincy affairs area, we have just started working on the different local governments vis-a-vis agricultural products that could come out from there. And the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs is working with the 17 mayors to ensure that we empower people and energize them just for food security and also job creation. They also have the advantage of keeping our people at home is ongoing there. And very soon, results will start showing. The government is determined to support our people, just to produce, can eat the subsistence farming that we are used to commercialize their products, and if possible, even get to the point of extending the value chain to processing. And I believe that we will do well in that area. There's hardly any local government that doesn't have one product or the other, agricultural product, or comfort. Also, the local government ministry is organizing the Tech Rise Cohort 2, which is a program that we started to support our youthful population, give them necessary technological tools to make them competitive in the tech space, which is where the world is headed. The first one, I believe we trained close to 350 or 400. And for cohort 2, we decided that we would train 50 candidates per local government, and that's 850. The process of selection has been done, and the 850 of them, as we speak, are in the camp where the training, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks training, will kick off tomorrow morning. And it's been well received. The first cohort, I think the government onboarded about 19 to 20 of them who came out the best after the exercise. So I'm happy with that training in that area. And of course, the local government commissioner and his team are also constructing at the minimum 4 evening markets per local government. And the whole idea is to support our people who are in the rural areas and get the economy in those rural areas again. The evening markets will have installations, power installations, solar powered, and of course have water and public conveniences. So we expect that those markets would extend the time that our people spend or contribute to economic activities. Instead of shutting down by 6 p.m., those markets can be open till 12 midnight. And like I've always said, the more money moves around, the more money people make. The concept of the velocity of money. So if your money goes to sleep by 6 p.m., it becomes useless until you wake up again. And that also explains some of the things we are doing, even in the urban areas, where we are lighting up everywhere. And of course, with relatively secure environment, we have seen that our people operate round the clock. Sometimes when I'm working late or I'm on the road very late at night, I see that our people are still carrying out their activities, particularly trading. Some shops operate round the clock. So it's an area that is important to this government, and we are paying a lot of attention to it. And then in terms of sports, we have the Abians Soccer Festival competition, which has started in the wards, and it will move from the wards to the local governments, and then the competition at the state. And of course, the champions are going to go home with prizes. But then, most importantly for us, it is to keep our young people engaged, to also identify talents, and also prepare them for competitions and prepare them for club size within and outside Nigeria. So it is an area that is also important to this government. And that's happening under the watch of the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and Ministry of Youths and Sports. And the two ministries are working hand in gloves to ensure that this is delivered. We are not resting on our oars on infrastructure, particularly walks, routes. We continue to flag off routes under Ministry of Works, Greater Aba Development Agency, Umuahia Capital Development Authority, and then Greater Ohafia Development Authority. And you know more than I do, that a major problem that this state has faced is decayed infrastructure, particularly roads. And that's why we attacked it the way we did when we came in. We've dealt with the first sets of roads and delivered them. And we have moved to the next set, and we'll continue until everywhere is accessible. We are almost set to flag off the reconstruction of the Umuahia Ikorebene Road. That should happen in the next few weeks. And of course, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic will be here on Friday next week to commission Port Harcourt Road and 7 other routes in Aba. Final arrangements are being made. And I'm sure our people will come out in their numbers to celebrate the delivery of Port Harcourt Road. We are very thankful of the work that the contractor, Julius Berger Nigeria Limited, did. I think it's a PLC, Julius Berger Nigeria PLC, did on that road. And most importantly, our colleagues, the Commissioner for Works and his team, and the supervision and delivery of that road, and the rest of the roads, including Ahanku Road, and then Docky Road, People's Road, and a few other roads that will be commissioned next week, Friday. So I'd like to use this opportunity to invite all of us to be part of that event. In the area of the Greater Aba Development Authority, at the last count, I think there are about 10 routes that are being handled in Aba under that authority. They are also supervising the renovation of the Enyimba Hotel, which we have started and hope to deliver sometime next year, the first phase, and then the Aba Leisure Park, and a few other things. I think Aba Leisure Park is being handled by a major company coming out of Lagos, Landmark. So the whole idea is that the glory of Aba will return by the time we have the leisure park delivered, we have the Enyimba Hotel delivered. I'd like to talk a little bit about the airport project. Work continues on the runway, which is the bit that is assigned to the state. Terminal buildings and the other facilities being handled by the federal government will also begin to receive attention very soon. I'd like to acknowledge that not too long ago, I was told that some people from Sulu protested over non-payment of compensation. I was a bit surprised because I was of the view that everybody had been paid. So I had to dispatch the team that worked on that project for me. And by the time they returned, they found out that and their payments had not been done. Uh, the second one was that the some of the people that also protested failed to complete their documentation. And because their documentation had not been completed, payment could not be made. And then there was also an error by the contractor getting into some spaces that were not originally marked for acquisition. That was the easiest to correct, and the contractor has corrected that and have issued instruction to ensure that the first two anomalies were handled. And I believe that if it's not been done, will be done very soon. A few days ago, we swore in two new commissioners approved by the House of Assembly and a special advisor for agriculture. We had to tweak structure a little bit by dividing the Ministry of Lands and Housing into two because of the flurry of activities in that area. The workload became so much and some inefficiencies began to creep in. So we felt like dividing the ministry into two and bringing a professional to head one of the arms, that is the housing. And of course, we also sent or reposted the former commissioner for trade and commerce to oversee labor and productivity, which was unfortunately vacant because of the demise of the former commissioner. And then got in a new commissioner to handle trade and commerce. This is just to ensure the efficiency of government and delivery of government activities. We also have a new commissioner, a new special advisor in charge of agriculture. And in terms of agriculture, I just rose from a meeting with the team that I put together that will rejig the entire framework in the department, looking at agriculture as a business. Of course, agriculture focusing on food security. So in the next 1 week, a lot of things will be happening there. But suffice it to say that we have kicked off the pilot scheme for rice in Orenta has yielded quite some results. In fact, when I spoke to experts this evening, I was told that the yield per hectare, which is in the region of 5 tons, was quite high for a pilot scheme. So I've instructed that we will need to expand and work harder to ensure that we will be one of the largest rice producers in the state. I think that is possible if we could get this in Orenta alone. Pointing to the fact that in Abam, in Bende, and parts of Item, that there are those vegetations that are positive to rice growth. So I have no doubt that we will be able to increase our tempo We have also introduced technology to gather data in agriculture, particularly those that are involved in farming. And the numbers we have as we speak is close to 45,000 farmers across the state who have been enumerated, and over 28,000 hectares of arable farmland in the state. So for me, I believe that everything, somebody says that God is for all of us, but for every other thing, come with your data. So we are still continuing with data gathering, so that if we are intervening, whatever we are doing, we know that we have replicable facts, and we can convince ourselves that any intervention we are making will go to the right persons, and we can monitor results. And that is so critical. The area of security, I wouldn't say so much about it, but suffice it to say that the state has been relatively peaceful. I want to use this opportunity to thank the security agencies, all their men and officers who have worked and continue to work very hard. Of course, the government that has also so that our people can sleep. But it's never Uhuru yet. We have just launched into the Ember months. We all know what goes with Ember months. So I'm using this opportunity to call on all of us to be more security conscious, to report whatever we see. We should not keep quiet. And a large part of the success in security is information. We have our own ways of gathering information, but then if you also support what the government is doing with information, it will be very helpful. We also continue to support the agencies, supporting the police, the army, the DSS, with little things to make their life easier. We're also renovating and expanding the Aba prison. Not that we are expecting more criminals to be sent there. A friend of mine, Sheikh Hussain, senator, called my attention. I think that was earlier in the year or later last year, that he would want to see a modern Aba prison. And I asked him why. He said that that's where he was held in those days. So he want to come and visit and ensure that he want to visit when I finish renovating it, because he heard that I was renovating it. We believe that people who are sent to prison, which we have now correctly called correctional services, it's not that we want to lose them. We want to reform them so that they can come out and become better citizens. And sometimes it does happen. In terms of education, I'm sure when you look around you, you are different communities, you see work going on. A lot of schools are receiving attention. The construction of the 20 smart schools is also ongoing. The constructions will continue because schools have already resumed. But that should not stop any work at all. Schools resumed on the 22nd, and the newly recruited teachers have all resumed. We are happy that we are able to upgrade the quality of teachers, the number of teachers, the quality of schools, and even the curricula to what maybe we are not there yet, but we have made a lot of progress and a lot of moves, and we'll continue. Today, school fees are not being paid. There's nothing else that I'm happy about personally. That is one thing. And I know a lot of people are happy about it. We want to congratulate the Ogbonneonu Polytechnic for a successful action of the 33 courses that exist in that school by the MBTE, National Board for Technical Education. For several years, the accreditation was lost, but we thank God that they have all been restored. And I understand that the Polytechnic emerged that the first school to gain digital accreditation for this feat, and challenge them that the reward for hard work is more work. College of Education Technical, Arochukwu. Massive work is going on there. A new rector was employed. A new chairman was also appointed. So we expect a whole lot more activities in that place. That place is central to what we are doing in education. Because when you talk about teachers and training teachers, that is the direction to look at. And that's the only one in the state. So except the Federal College of Education that has just opened in Umuahia. The state one is the only one the state has. So we intend to make it a top-notch school that will be able to train our teachers. The state continues to receive endorsement from partners. Yesterday, we received the EU ambassador to Nigeria and the ECOWAS countries. And we also launched the social protection program called SUSHI. As we speak, the American government is here and on a visit to the state, and I'll be receiving the ambassador, a U.S. ambassador to Nigeria. And these are all endorsements we received not too long ago. The Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, who confessed that I haven't been here for 2 years in Nigeria, that Abia was the first state he was visiting other than Lagos and Abuja, where he resides. So these are good news. I haven't said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, areas, and I'd like to throw the floor open for questions. Therefore, call on the moderators who Ferdinand refuse to introduce. Yeah. So maybe it's a hostile activity today. Yeah. So I'll call them to take the microphone and moderate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We appreciate you. Thank you once again for the opportunity. Distinguished colleagues, we know why we're here without wasting further time. I am Stanley Mband. I'm representing Sun FM 91.3 Iberia. I have my colleague here.
Joy Notchery representing Dawn 103.7 FM.
Of course, you know how we do it. We have different sections. We'll definitely be taking questions from print, from radio, television, and online. But before then, you should know that the interaction will be airing live on PCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM.
Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM.
Magic 102.9 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Bere, Sun FM 91.9 Aba.
Zik FM 96.3, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM.
Of course, if you can listen to Payseta 103.5 FM, Balls FM 89.7, and Masters 105.6 FM Omaya.
We also have Skills FM 87 FM and Dawn 103.7 FM.
It is also streaming live on major online platforms. Good evening once again and welcome. Tonight we'll be starting with online. And so please, one question each, and we'll be having 3 questions from the online crew, please. Just raise your hand, we'll take it from there.
Please, can we see the hands raised?
Online, please. Okay, maybe we'll take it. Okay.
All right, good evening. My name is Ifani Okali for ABN TV and radio. Your Excellency, during the last chat, you graciously emphasized that posting of newly recruited teachers should not be treated as punishment. You stated, and I quote, if someone lives in Okwa and you post relocation may be difficult and that would affect their output. We want our teachers to be in their comfort zone so that they can deliver their best. If any of the newly hired teachers feel their posting is unsuitable, they should return to us for adjustment. However, after investigating complaints from some of these new recruited teachers, I discovered that officials of the Ministry of Education, ASUPEB, are reportedly telling them that posting has ended. There is nothing they can do and be done. So we are told either they accept current posting or resign. While others were advised off record, sir, to informally liaise with principals to show face and leave. Additionally, several complain of being rudely dismissed when they seek redress, even though this recruitment was based on merit. Your Excellency, how do you intend to ensure that your well-meaning directive is respected by officials?
Please, can you go straight to the point?
Please, I'm coming.
Your
please.
question, please, because of
Go
time.
straight to the point.
That's where I'm
please.
going, please. Listen very well. Are these agencies that your vision, quality motivated teachers working within reasonable location is not undermined? Also, Your Excellency, please, is there any task force that can monitor most of these recruited teachers. Thank you very much.
Please, when you take the microphone, just go straight to your question. One question each, not more than one, please.
Next person, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name remains Emenike Iro Ebu. I am from All Facts newspaper, Your Excellency. My question is bordering on agents, house agents, Your Excellency. The truth is that people are crying. Some agents are now taking above 10%. Some of them, if a house rent is 300,000, they charge 150,000 as agency fee. Your Excellency, I want to keep you abreast of the fact that some states, to make sure they bring in that group of agents or the line, so that there could be a process to when agents are going above board. Your Excellency, please, this is my question, and I would like you to react to it.
Thank you very much. And next person.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chinwe Ugele. So, during the presentation of the 2025 budget, you did say the sum of 13 billion naira was earmarked of agro-industrial processing zones in 3 local government areas of Abia State, namely Ukwa, Umunochi, and what's the third one? I can't remember. But then, sir, I'd like to know to what extent has your government done anything in this proposal that you made in the 2025 budget? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before Your Excellency takes over, you forgot to tell us your name and the media you're representing.
Just a name, but the media represent, please. Online media represent.
My name is Chinwe Ugele, and I asked a question.
We're talking about
media
on the platform of csunews.ng.com.
Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, sir.
All right. Maybe I should start with Chinwe. Chinwe, you are very correct. We haven't made a lot of progress in terms of setting up the agro-industrial processing zone. In fact, it's part of the reason why I heard the meeting that I heard just before coming here. I had indicated that I had heard the meeting. So all those will start as quickly as possible. I need to be sure that I'm convinced with strategy first. What do you want to do? How are you going to do it? If I'm not convinced, I won't put my pen to paper. And that's why we're going back and forth. But you can take it to the bank that it will be done. Emenike Irebu, your question is about house agents and agency fees. It's a tricky one. Of course, the government can bring and weld its big stick. But a lot of times, what you create is a black market when you weld the big stick. You know, the market is a demand and supply market. So when you see agents asking for more money, it's because people are willing to pay. But through moral suasion, we are going to deal with this. This is not the first time I'm getting this complaint. So we'll have to try and activate what is called moral suasion. I don't believe in so much control, because when you insist and want to enforce it, that is where the black market gets created. But I think what is more fundamental is to attack the problem from its roots. There is paucity of houses, and this is why this is happening. And following the recent action of the government to actually now excise housing out of the Ministry of Lands and Housing, I believe that we'll be able to get into that market and break the oligopoly and make houses available so that people do not need to queue and do not need to pay more than what they are supposed to pay. That is a good point you've raised, and I've noted it. Ifeanyi Okali, your question is about the posting of the newly recruited teachers. I'll tell you that I'm very surprised at some of the claims you made. I would say I'm surprised. I do not have the data or the information to say it's not true. But anybody asking somebody to show face, disappear, must be a joker, because you know that that cannot work under this government. We do have a task force that we have set up. That task force goes round, but it's still early days because the teachers just recruited, started work about 2-3 days ago on the 22nd. I'm sure that if there is any such thing, they will pick it up, and anyone who is culpable will be dealt with. But again, I've taken your point. I've had a few people write me, including this evening. I saw a letter from one of the teachers saying that
yet. My question is simple. Is hope rising or dimming for the senior citizens? Thank you.
which hope?
Okay,
TV.
Nora, which hope?
My name is Emmanuel Mazi. I report for Afia TV. Your Excellency, it's been a while we heard about It boggles my mind when I look at the infrastructure of the region. I do not know if you and your brother governors have, thought about this issue of regional infrastructure like rail lines, since it does appear that there is a form of subjugation in the issue of development in the Southeast. Have you thought about this, especially security and infrastructure? Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Next person.
Okay.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I have a question. I also have an issue. So the issue is the Keke economy, because with the Abia IGR, Keke contributes 2% to the IGR because every month the government make up to 1 million naira from Keke riders. Now, the issue of because we have about 17,000 Keke in Abia State. So the issue of designated bus stop was raised, and this government have done justice to that. But sir, I want to bring to your notice that the bus stop at Ishi Gate, any keke that is being caught stopping at that particular place, the task force sees the keke and they pay fine of 20,000. So my question now is, National Library here in Abia State have been sieged since August, and the community, the host community, which is Hokobe, said they are owing them 13 million naira, sir. And that money was supposed to be paid by the state government because process of acquiring National Library to your state. And that library was my governor. And for the past 10 years, they have not been paying their rent. And the community, they go through the local means to siege their building. So this is 1 month plus. So my question is, have that matter been brought to your table? What effort is this government doing to ensure that we still have National Library in Abia State? Because if they relocate the library, it will also affect the state and people that have access to it. Thank you, sir.
All right. So your question is on National Library. That is Leonka. Okay. The other one you have is an issue with Keke. If nobody is letting Keke out of existence, but they must keep the rules. If they are not supposed to park in a particular place, they should not. If they do, they are breaking the rules and they have to be they have to some at the minimum. So we are not driving KKs. We are still thinking of how to modernize them and how to make them compliant with the new towns. You know, they are no town is new, but then you can make an old town a new town just by one or two things that you put in there. So your question on National Library, quite frankly, I'm hearing about it for the first time, so I don't know about it. If somebody is owing, he should be paid. So investigate it, and if it is true that the library is being shut down because of accumulated rent arrears, we'll deal with it and pay off the debt. Emmanuel Nwazue, Southeast Governors Forum, is in existence. So if you say you haven't been hearing about it, well, you are not a member. For those of us that are that are members, we even hold meetings from time to time. And part of our the major that are actually regional integration and regional development. But like our people say, so when you have not done the basic thing that you need to do in your state, you need to catch up and then begin to talk of integration. Otherwise, you may be dragging people who have gone who are now light years ahead of you, may be dragging them down. And that's why for us, we want to get to the level where others have gotten to. We are still trying. We are babies. We are moving gradually. The issue of rail is a major discussion point. But of course, we all know it's also expensive. Including putting pressure on the Port Harcourt Maiduguri rail, which cuts across many states in the southeast, including Abia, Ebonyi, and Enugu. And even, I think there's a spur now to Imo and Anambra. Yeah, with the one that goes back to Port Harcourt. So major discussion point, including cooperation in security. Not careful. Was asked if hope was rising, and hope is really rising. It's just that I don't know what parts that he wanted to rise. I think we had made a statement on the issue of senior citizens. I'm not too sure when that was made, but under the Commissioner for Poverty Alleviation and Social Protection. So I think you may check again. There was even a committee that worked on that. And I know that the news was out there because people sent me mails congratulating me. So you may need to check again to be sure that this question is in order. But if we have not, we will also come back on it. So please, can you take note, my colleagues who are listening, so that we check on that. That will be it for now. Back to you, moderators.
Okay, we'll go straight to radio. We know those in the print would want to ask questions, but for now, radio, please. Radio for now.
Okay,
3 questions.
radio. Let's take your question, Jennifer Bassi.
Good evening, all. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your time today. I am Jennifer Bassi of Dawn 103.7 FM. In months past, you talked about the acquisition of CNG buses. Can you update us on the progress and challenges facing the adoption of the electric vehicles for our state? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we'll have
FM.
someone from Zik FM here.
Akanachi State Abia ekelela m gị. Anakpọ m Chidi Asonye. Ana m arụ na Zik FM 96.3 Ụmụahịa. Na-ekwu, onye na-adị ka ibe ya akwa na-agụ ya na Ezeleke Primary School, World Bank Primary School, Isieke Primary School. Dịka m gara ebe ahụ n'ụbọchị ole na ole gara aga, a chọpụtara na gbamgbam eji kuchie ụlọ akwụkwọ ndị ahụ ọnụ mpio ọnụ ụzọ bụ nke emebisirila. Mgbe ụfọdụ ya bụrụ ndị omekome na-abata ebe ahụ na-akpakasị ihe ndị a niile dịka anyị ghọtara n'ebe a. Biko ajụjụ m bụ, e nwere atụmatụ itinye ndị nche ndị a dịka atụmatụ ya si n'aka ọchịchị steeti Abịa. Ọ ga-aga n'ihu? Ọ ga-akwụsị? Ọ bụ na ọ ga-aga n'ihu, ole mgbe ekwu?
Thank you very much. Imiremba.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Imeremba is my name. I am for Real FM, Aba. Actually, my question was the one that was just asked. But I have another question. It's on housing. You touched a little bit of it. In Abia State in particular, and Omahia towns, there's this rising cost of accommodation. And my question is there anything government wants to do or is going to do to make sure that this is reduced by maybe having housing estates be for low and medium income earners? Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. We yield the microphone over to you, Your Excellency.
All right, thank you. Jennifer Bassey, CNG buses. If you followed us, we had said we are not going the CNG way, that we are going straight to electric buses. And we had paid for and expecting the first set of 20 electric buses. There was a little delay because when the order was made, somehow we forgot to make provisions for people living with disabilities. So we had to go back, and that caused a little delay. But 2 days ago, the chairman of Kocharis, who is delivering the buses, and his team met with me, and we had discussions. They had now included that option in the first set of buses, except one which had already been fully produced. So 19 of them will be coming with an option for people living with disabilities, wheelchairs, and all that. So before the end of the year, the first set will be launched. The second set of 20 will be received in the middle of January. And then another set will be received subsequently. As we are also building the bus terminals and building the laybys and bus stops, we believe that by the time the buses are here, all those would have been ready for operation. Chidi Asonye, ekelela m gị na ajụjụ ejuru gbasara Isieke Primary School, Ezeleke na skuulu ndị ọzọ. Ọ ihe mwute na ụmụnne anyị na ụmụnne anyị ndị kwesịrị na ihe niile a na-emewu maka ọdịmma ndị Abia steeti na-abịa emebishi ihe gọọmenti ji ego were tinye. Ma ajụjụ gị gbasara ndị nche, enweela mgbe m kwuru ebe a na anyị nwere atụmatụ ịkpọta ndị ma anọ ma ise ma isii kwa skuul. Anyị na ha arụ ọrụ gbasara ya, na o kwere m nghọta na tutu ọnwa na-abịa na-agwụ na ha niile ga-ebido ọrụ. Imeremba, I think I have answered the question on housing. Yes, the major reason for the breakup of the ministry is for us to focus on housing estates, low, medium income, and high income. And we already have done a lot of work in terms of identification, acquisition, and providing sites and services for some of them. But then we still have a long way to go. There are a whole lot of reasons why rents are going up, because there are a whole lot of people are relocating back, and if the facilities are not increasing to catch up with the number, of course, the interaction of supply and demand would necessarily mean that price will go up. And the way to deal with it is control rent, but to increase supply one way or the other. So we are already on it, and I'm sure that very soon you will see results. That will be it from me. Over to you.
All right,
Thank you
Your
very much.
Excellency, I know a lot of people probably felt you would combine English and Igbo when you were responding to the man from Zik FM. I know they're disappointed. All right, we'll be going straight to print, but before we do that, please, this interaction, it's aired live on PCA 88.1 FM, Umuahia, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, and Enyimba 94.5 FM Aba.
Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM, as well as Son FM 91.3 FM. Iwere.
Also on Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik FM 96.3, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM.
Peseta 103.5 FM, Bose 89.7 FM, Masters 105.6 FM, Skills 87.7 FM.
And of course, Dawn 103.7 FM, as well as online media platforms where we are also streaming live.
You can also send an SMS to the number 0907 462 1067. 0907 462 1067.
Or straight to print media. We know you write a lot, so we'll be giving you the opportunity to ask 5 different questions. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Ijento Ihaka. I work for the News Agency of Nigeria. Your Excellency, I want to ask, it's true that your government met this situation as it is at the moment, but I would want you to really let us know what you think about the situation of the market that the state, our state, Abia, actually is taking over from local governments that the fourth schedule of the Constitution gave the permission to run the markets. And this thing is causing problems for the people in the market, the traders, especially in Abas, I know. So why is the government continuing with management of markets? That's my first question. The second...
Please, one question. One question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have a Steve. Okay, it's there, close to him.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. My name is Steve Oko, and I report for Vanguard Newspapers. Your Excellency, elders from different states in the southeast stood detention of Mazi, who has been sick in the Igbo. And their message was to plead with you to prevail, to get across to your brother governors in the Southeast to prevail on Mr. President to consider releasing Nnamdi Kanu, more especially considering the fact that up north, so many local governments, as we speak, in Katsina State in particular, have signed an agreement, peace deal, with bandits who are mass murderers. How come that Igbo elite, more especially our governors, are not doing something towards that? In Enugu seated, Igbo leaders missed that opportunity to, as a group, ask for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. Glad enough, you've told us that on Friday, Mr. President will be coming to Abia, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is from Abia State. I hope Ndabia will not miss yet another opportunity to, as a people, ask for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Sonny of Nation.
Your Excellency, my name is Sonny Wankosa, and I write Nation newspaper. I want to start by commending your effort. When the graduation was held for the teachers, I was at a secondary school. And I must say that I was impressed with what I saw. For those of us who still have strong belief in public schools, I had a conviction that if this number of teachers will be used adequately by the state, that our public school would definitely compete favorably with the private schools, sir. My question, sir. Sir, while you were talking to us, sir, you told us how you intend or how your government is renovating the Aba prison. Sir, we are aware that the prisons in the state and other parts of the country are all overcrowded. I don't know, sir, if your government is blind to the number of inmates in the prison. If your government is not blind, sir, what is the administration is doing to ensure that the prison inmates get...
Thank you very much. Please, the microphone to someone else.
Ima, please.
Your Excellency, my name is Emmanuel Ugunwogo of this day. 24 hours ago, international development partners were here and gave you their commitment to work hand in hand with you to build an Abia society where social security is guaranteed. Constructing a safety net, impossible for successive governments when you might have completed your full tenure program, which is in itself very laudable. Thank you, sir.
Who's next?
Your Excellency. Good evening, sir. My name is Peter Okore, and I write for Hallmark newspapers. Sir, I bring you greetings from the people of Ihosu in Arichukwu local government area. These people have been on forced exile for more than 6 years. They are being harbored by neighboring communities of Ihe, Ututu, Isu, and Aruchukwu. For years, I've been under the care of helpers from these nearby communities. And to them, it appears government has forgotten all about them, and they think it's all over with them and life. They are saying, from the look of things, it appears there's no hope for the next generation from that area. Sir, these people are saying, please, government, help us get back to our ancestral homes and continue our farming. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
What did you call the community again?
Ozu. Ihe Ozu.
All right, thank you. Maybe I should start with that. There are a few communities on that axis in Arochukwu local government where there have been boundary disputes and sometimes violence. We found out that the for this is unconfirmed reports of the existence of natural resources, particularly limestone, in those locations. So what we have done is to engage with sister governments, Cross River particularly. And of course, there's also part of Abam community whose neighbors from Akwa Ibom are also up in arms with them. So the deputy governor is handling all those boundary disputes. As a matter of fact, he went to Abuja to hold meetings with the deputy governors of those states so that we can bring lasting peace to those communities. So since you are in contact with them, please reassure them that they are not abandoned, and very soon that they will return to their ancestral homes. Emmanuel Nwogo, you're worried about setting up what you called a safety net. Well, safety net is part of the social protection. I think what you are talking about is ring-fencing some of these initiatives so that successor governments will not dismantle them. It's a good suggestion. I believe strongly that when you build strong institutions rather than strong men, you are able to ring-fence some of these initiatives. And it's also important that we understand that government is a continuum. And it behoves all of us to ensure that if you have left Egypt, that you don't go back to Egypt. For me to sit here and tell you I would ensure that one or two things don't get reversed or don't get to happen after my tenure, I'll be telling you lies.
So the challenge is yours, citizens, to ensure that once you have said never again, that never again will be never again. We have seen situations where people went to sleep and their birthright will be stolen. So we need to collectively ring-fence what is good. And everything succeeds or fails on the altar of leadership. And the leadership selection process is so key in everything you are doing. So sometimes I ask the questions when organizations, multinational agencies, banks, bottling companies, breweries, when they want to change leadership, they go for the best. But then, when you now come to government, which can actually legislate some of these corporate organizations out of existence, we now stumble. We go to sleep. So it's our collective responsibility to ensure that our leadership selection process is sound. We define a minimum beyond which we will not go. In the US, for instance, before you even show your hand that you want to be president of that country, you must have gone to some schools. It's not written in the Constitution, but if you check, you'll find that that's the way it had been. So I'm challenging you back, and by you, I mean all of us, to say we need to ring-fence whatever is good. Anyhow you look at it, some states have got it right, and they keep building. They keep getting better leaders because they are all awake. So I'm sure that we will not sleep. Sonny Wankwo, thank you for your positive comments about the recruitment of teachers. Your question is about prison congestion. Well, it's unfortunate, but then that's what we find. So when I talked about renovating and expanding the Aba prison, is to ensure that the congestion will become a thing of the past. Sometimes I've tried to exercise the prerogative of mercy to release some people who are detained in correctional facilities. But you know the truth, I couldn't find anyone. You can't go and exercise the prerogative of mercy on somebody who killed somebody or an armed robber, because he will come out and continue to commit the crime. So minor offenses and all that, yes. So that was a way to reduce the congestion, but you don't want to create a new problem by attempting to solve an existing problem. I can assure you that we are sensitive to it. Steve Oko, you asked a question about the detention of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Ihaka, the issue of, you quoted the Constitution and talked about the markets being taken over by the state government. What you didn't quote is the part that says that if the state government has invested in a market, then it ceases to be the prerogative of the local government. So the markets in Aba, if you followed, you see that we are reconstructing the Ekoha, right? And then also work is going on in Ariaria. Another line will be added very shortly. So with those investments, they cease to be primarily owned by the local government. So anyone who is struggling with the state, meanwhile the state has invested, he has ignored one part of the Constitution. I guess that answers your question, Ijendo. Thank you so much. So that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you,
We
Excellency.
move over to the SMS, and we've got this one. It says, I would like to know why the integration of Abia State Passengers Integrated Manifest and Safety Scheme as PIN staff into the civil service is being delayed. Since June 2025, some staff have received their integration letters, but many are still waiting, and even those integrated are yet to be fully absorbed by the Ministry of Transportation. Meanwhile, we're still being paid 22,000 Naira monthly as salary. We kindly appeal for your intervention to help expedite this process. And this is coming from Josephine Ugu. And the next one says, good evening, Your Excellency. Congratulations on your second anniversary, Your Excellency. Mine is more of an appeal than a question. We are members of Real Keke Operators Association, Abia State, duly registered with the Abia State Ministry of Transportation after satisfying the requirement for registration. But the certificate was revoked by the Honorable Commissioner abruptly. Sir, we appeal to you to kindly use your good office to intervene in this regard, as all our efforts at getting the ministry's response to us have proved unsuccessful. Thank you, Shemela from Aba.
So this one is coming from Okechukwu. Then he said, good evening, Your Excellency. Sometime in March this year, Your Excellency magnanimously promised to revisit the memorandum of agreement signed with the leadership of pensioners in the state. His Excellency subsequently set up a committee to work out the outstanding pension and gratuity of each pensioners in the state. And the committee has been on the assignment for about 3 months now. I request that the committee be urged to expedite action on this assignment to enable these issues to be finally laid to rest. It's coming from Okechukwu with the NC. Okechukwu with the NC. Also, Your Excellency, this one says, good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Aloysius from Umahia. I want to thank you for the good work you are doing in the state. I pray God Almighty to continue to grant you wisdom to pilot the affairs of the state. Your Excellency, I want to draw your attention to Amuzukut Secondary School. As we're embarking on school renovation, I want to ask you to remember that school, as it is in the town also, Umahia. Ikotekbene Road has gone so bad. I want to plead you to intervene on the road. Thanks and remain bountifully blessed. It didn't come with any name.
Okay, can we take more, Your Excellency? Fourth one. Okay.
Aloysius, yes. Okay, Aloysius.
And this is coming from Cyprian Pedro Chinon. So he said, we made an appeal in last month's media chat on the building and integration as well as regularization into the state civil service. Please, Your Excellency, the building is looking into, and we are grateful, sir. We are hoping that our plea will be regularized as to enjoy your good heart on a minimum wage. Be looking into, okay, there's an error here, but this is coming from Cyprian Pedro Chinonso.
Your Excellency, I wouldn't know if you allow this. It's more like an addendum to the school. Okay.
Integration. Yeah, it's not clear. Like that was why I said I think there's an error here. Okay, let's take another one.
Your Excellency, this one says Oto the model school in Asago Havia with Kelvin Carlo. Yes, Your Excellency. He said, Your Excellency, Oto the model school in Asago Havia with over 150 new intakes received only one teacher. Core teachers are just about 3, and they would still need more teachers. Please, kindly help.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start with the Curve and Carlo teachers in Ohafia. Taking notes. There are a lot of schools, and we've just hired 5,394. I've also given approval for another 4,000. The process has started. So if they got only one this time, we'll ensure that they get more when the new set of teachers resume. Aloysius, thank you for your very kind words. Amuzuku Secondary School, I've taken note of it. We just took a few in the first instance. We will come back and take more, and we will not stop until we have renovated all the schools, all the public schools in the state. So rest assured that Amuzuku Secondary School will benefit in due course. I've already made an announcement on Ekorebene Road when I spoke earlier. I said the flag off of the construction will happen any moment from now in the next month. Okechukwu Densi pension and gratuity. Well, you are aware that a committee was set up and they are working. And once they've given me a preliminary report, that was preliminary, and I'm expecting the final report from them. And please note that we are talking of gratuity. There must be a reason. SSG, please, can you take notes? Real KK operators. So let's find out why their certificate was revoked. Josephine Ugu, your question is on ASPIMS and integrating the employees into the civil service. There's a problem integration. First of all, you can't put anybody on the payroll because there is a ban or suspension of hiring. And this happened before my time. Until there is a waiver, no one can be added to the payroll. So I do not have the details, but I imagine that if the process started and couldn't complete, maybe there was no way to complete it until the right thing is done. My colleagues will also take notes so that we find out what is happening with that integration. So that's about it. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the sitting colleagues, we want to really thank you for being part of this interaction tonight. And those listening at home, we thank you for tuning in. And members of the cabinet, we also appreciate you. Thank you for coming, as always. And to Ferdinand, thank you for always being there. It's a moment to wrap it up, but before we go, we need to also reel out those who were involved, who made sure that tonight's interaction actually got to you wherever you are. BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM.
Enyimba 94.5 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM.
Also thank Real FM 99.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Beret, and Sun FM 91.9 Aba.
Zeke FM 96.3, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM.
Thank you, Pesita 103.5 FM, Boz FM 89.7, and Masters 105.9 FM.
Skills 87.7 FM and Dawn 103.7 FM.
Also appreciate every online platform that helped to stream this program live. Thank you once again for being part of this. Your part in short, Your Excellency.
All right. All right, thank you so much, the moderators, Joy and Stanley. Thank you for a great job. I also like to thank my colleagues who joined to be part of this monthly media chat. I'd like to thank the members of the media and those at home. Thank you for participating. Thank you for joining. This is a monthly ritual. The difference between this and a few others is that here there is no holds barred questions. Questions are not prepared and handed over. You ask any question that you want to ask, and we'll try to respond. Where we don't have the answer, we are also not too proud not to say we can't know everything. And so I want to thank you for being part of this. And I want to thank you for also bringing the activities of government to public awareness. We cannot take your role for granted. Even when you don't agree with us, we must not always agree. But then let's put it out there and then let the people be the judge. For us, we are not afraid of being taken up, particularly if the intention is genuine and is real. Where we have a problem is when people come with a list with interests and then come to make arguments that are untrue and present data that are false. That's where we fight. But then if you disagree with us, and then you have a right to disagree. We don't have a problem with that. So I want to use this opportunity to thank Abia people, wherever they are, those both home and abroad, for supporting this government. We can't take that for granted. We've received massive support from our people. And we want to assure you that insofar as I remain on the driver's seat here, that this is your government and this government will work for you. This government will not work for any parochial interest. It's interest of our people first and foremost. So you can go home and sleep easy, knowing fully well that you have a responsible government and a government that will always put your interests first. So having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you for joining this chat this evening and wish you a good night's sleep. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is where we'll be drawing the curtain on this edition of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. Join us same time next month. The national anthem, please.